In this session, you are going to learn how to clone yourself, because if you do not multiply your presence, you will be erased by the noise of the millions who are willing to sacrifice their sleep for the algorithm. And we are going to build a digital machine that speaks for you, sells for you, and grows your empire for you, even when you are sleeping, recovering, or completely offline. We are done with the era of the hustler who burns himself out trying to post every single day by manual labor, because that is a trap designed for the working class of the internet, where the soft man thinks that hard work equals success. So he wakes up, he stresses over an idea, he writes a script for 6 hours, he edits for another 6, and by the end of the day, he is exhausted and empty, having traded his life for a single piece of content that will be forgotten in 24 hours. That is not a business, that is a prison. And today, we are going to break you out of that prison by treating YouTube and artificial intelligence not as tools that you play with, but as employees that you manage, moving from being a creator to being a factory owner, which is the only way you can survive the content wars of 2026. If you do not automate your influence, you will be outpaced by the men who do. Let's start with the fundamental problem, which is that your biological energy is finite, and you have maybe 4 hours of deep, high-quality creative work in you per day before your brain starts to fog and your decisions get worse. But the algorithm never sleeps. It demands fresh meat 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if you try to fight the algorithm with your bare hands, you will lose, you will burn out, and you will quit. You need a system that disconnects your time from your output, which we call the asynchronous content engine, meaning the work happens whether you are there or not, and the machine runs on silicon, not on sugar or sleep. The first step is building your digital stuff, and you need to stop looking at ChatGPT or Claude or Midjourney as chatbots and start seeing them as specialized workers who are sitting in a dark room waiting for your orders. But most people are terrible bosses who give vague, lazy instructions and then complain when they get bad results. To automate influence, you must become a master of the prompt, and you need to create standard operating procedures for your AI staff, building a context file, which is a document that contains your voice, your philosophy, your banned words, and your specific style, and you feed this to the AI before you ask for a single word. You tell it that it is the architect, that it speaks in short, punchy sentences, that it does not use weak words like maybe or I think, and that it is authoritative. Once the AI understands who it is, you have cloned your voice, and now instead of writing a script from scratch, you are simply the editor-in-chief, giving the machine a bullet point list of ideas while it builds the structure, turning 6 hours of writing into 30 minutes of editing, which is the definition of leverage. Now let's talk about the idea factory, because the soft man waits for inspiration to strike while he stares at a blank page, but the architect automates his inputs, setting up a system that scrapes the world for you, using tools to monitor high-performing topics in your niche and looking at what is working, but you do not copy it, you remix it. You feed the trending topics into your AI and ask it how the architect would approach this topic, what the contrarian angle is, and what the truth is that no one is admitting. And the AI gives you 10 angles in 10 seconds, and you pick the best one, removing the decision fatigue that kills most creators. So you don't have to wonder what to say, you only have to decide which truth to drop today. Furthermore, you must implement niche arbitrage, where you take high-performing concepts from completely different industries like finance or psychology and ask the AI to translate them into your specific niche, effectively stealing the viral structure of a proven winner and applying it to your own domain without anyone noticing. The next level of automation is the visual assembly line, because a video is not just words, it is a visual experience, and the soft man spends hours searching stock footage sites, trying to find a clip that fits, which is slow, expensive, and boring. The architect uses generative visuals, using specialized video generation models to create exactly what he needs, whether it is a cyberpunk city in ruin or a man standing alone against a storm. You create a style guide, a set of visual rules regarding colors, lighting, and atmosphere that you feed into the image generator, ensuring every single image looks like your brand. So you are not searching for assets, you are manufacturing them. You can generate the visuals for an entire video in the time it takes the soft man to find one good stock photo. And because these images are unique, the YouTube algorithm loves them, seeing something new, not the same recycled clip everyone else is using. Now we must address the distribution machine, because the goal is to make YouTube work for you, not the other way around. Most people upload a video and pray, hoping the algorithm picks it up, but the architect understands that the algorithm is just a pattern matching machine that wants to connect the right video to the right viewer. You automate this success by optimizing the metadata using AI to write your titles and descriptions scientifically, asking the AI to give you 10 trend titles that trigger curiosity and fear using strong verbs and keeping it under 50 characters. You test these titles and you optimize your thumbnails to be click magnets, but more importantly, you create series and playlists linking your content together so that one view turns into 5 views, building a spiderweb of content where once a viewer enters, they cannot leave. The algorithm sees this high retention and starts promoting your channel while you are asleep, making your old videos evergreen soldiers that continue to fight for you and bring in new recruits years after you made them. Let's talk about the recovery aspect, which is the most critical part, because we are not doing this to be famous. We are doing this to be free. There will be days when you are sick, days when you are tired, days when you just want to stare at a wall and not speak to a soul. And in the old model, if you stop, your income stops. In the architect's model, you have a buffer because you use your high energy days to batch produce content, recording 5 voiceovers in one session and generating scripts for the whole month in one afternoon. You schedule everything in advance, creating a time mode so you are always living in the future, meaning the video that goes live today was created 3 weeks ago, allowing you to take a 2-week break to heal your body, to fix your sleep, or to handle a crisis while the machine keeps running and the audience never knows you are gone. You have bought yourself the ultimate luxury, which is the ability to disappear without losing power. We must also integrate the voice cloning protocol because some days your physical voice is weak or damaged, but your digital voice is immortal. You train a high-fidelity AI model on your best vocal performances so that on days when you cannot speak, you simply feed the text into the clone and it delivers the message with your exact cadence, your exact pauses, and your exact authority. This removes the biological bottleneck of your vocal cords, allowing you to produce audio content even when you are physically incapable of speaking. But we need to go deeper into the psychology of the automator because the hardest part of this is not the technology, it is your ego. The soft man thinks no one can do it like him and he has to do every little thing or it won't be perfect, which is a lie and is insecurity talking. You are afraid to let go, but the architect realizes that 80% perfect and done is infinitely better than 100% perfect and never published. You have to train yourself to trust the system and accept that the AI might phrase a sentence slightly differently than you would, but if the meaning is right, you let it go, focusing only on the high leverage activities, which are the big idea, the final quality check, and the strategic direction. Everything else, the typing, the editing, the uploading, the tagging, is manual labor that is beneath you, and you must ruthlessly delegate these tasks to your digital staff. Think about the asset library, because every time you create a good prompt, a good image, or a good sound effect, you save it, building a digital arsenal. Over time, your machine gets faster and faster, because you are reusing your own best work, not starting from zero every day, but starting from the shoulders of your past self. You build templates for everything, including your thumbnails, your script structure, and your video description, removing the friction. So when you sit down to work, you are just filling in the blanks of a proven system, which is how you produce 45 videos in a day, not by creating 45 times, but by executing the system 45 times as an industrial process. You must also understand the feedback loop, because the automated system is not static, it learns. You use the data from YouTube to train your AI, feeding the flop data back into the machine and telling the AI to analyze the retention graph to see where people dropped off. The AI analyzes the data and tells you the intro was too long or the hook was weak, and you then adjust your scripting prompt to fix that error for the next time, constantly patching your machine and making it smarter until the system becomes so tuned to your audience that it can predict hits better than you can, becoming a sovereign intelligence that works exclusively for your benefit. We must also deploy the short-form shrapnel strategy, where you do not just make long videos, you use AI to automatically slice your long-form content into 15 or 20 vertical clips that flood the Shorts feed, the TikTok feed, and the Reels feed. You do not edit these manually. You use AI tools that identify the most viral moments, add captions automatically, and reframe the video for vertical screens. This allows you to occupy every single platform simultaneously without doing extra work, turning 1 unit of effort into 20 units of distribution. Let's discuss the concept of evergreen value versus disposable noise. The soft man chases news and talks about the drama of the day, which rots in 24 hours, while the architect focuses on first principles, talking about health, wealth, mindset, and survival. These topics are relevant today, and they will be relevant in 10 years. So when you use AI to create evergreen content. You are building an oil well that you drill once and it pumps cash for a decade, allowing you to step away for a month while your old videos are still being discovered by new people who are just waking up to the truth. You are building a library of wisdom that serves as a gateway drug to your philosophy. Now, how do you handle the human element? You might ask, if AI does everything, where are you? You are the soul of the machine, providing the intent, the anger, the hope, and the unique perspective, while the AI provides the body, the structure, the words, and the visuals. You use the AI to clear away the clutter so that your soul can shine brighter, giving yourself a megaphone that reaches millions. The AI handles the logistics, you handle the leadership. We also need to look at the financial automation that comes from this, because once your YouTube channel is running on this system, it becomes a traffic source. But traffic is useless if you don't capture it. You need to automate the monetization by setting up digital products, courses, or communities that sell themselves, putting the links in your descriptions so the viewer watches the video made by AI, clicks the link placed by automation, and buys the product delivered by software. You make money while you are recovering, which is the closed loop where you are not trading time for money, you are trading system efficiency for money. The better your system, the more you make and the less you work. Additionally, you must utilize the engagement farming protocol, where you use AI to analyze and reply to comments, not to be social, but to boost the algorithm. The AI can identify the most thoughtful comments and draft replies in your voice, which encourages more people to comment, which signals to YouTube that your video is alive and active. You are not reading the toxicity, you are farming the engagement metrics, using a neural network as a shield between your mind and the chaotic public. There is a danger here, and I must warn you about it, which is automating the wrong thing. Do not automate your core values, and do not let the AI decide what you believe in, because that is the one thing you must guard. You are the guardian of the signal, and if you let the AI drift into generic, politically correct nonsense, you lose your edge. You must constantly check the output, acting as the quality control officer, reading the script and saying, no, that's too soft, make it harder, or looking at the thumbnail and saying, no, that's too boring, make it scarier. You are the director, the AI is just the cast and crew, so never forget who is in charge. Finally, think about the scale of influence, because when you do everything manually, you can impact maybe a few thousand people, but when you automate, you can impact millions. You can translate your videos into Spanish, Russian, Hindi, using AI dubbing tools, taking one script and turning it into a blog post, a Twitter thread, and a newsletter, all automatically. You become omnipresent, you are everywhere at once, and the softman sees you and thinks you have a team of 50 people spending millions, but he doesn't know it's just you, a laptop, and a sovereign algorithm running on a server. You have outmaneuvered the entire industry. This is the path to recovery, because you cannot heal if you are stressed about the next upload, and you cannot fix your body if you are glued to a computer screen 12 hours a day. You build this machine so that you can walk away, so you can go into the woods, or into the gym, or into deep sleep, and know that your empire is safe, because the machine holds the line while you sharpen the blade, which is the ultimate victory. So here is your instruction. Stop writing from scratch, stop editing manually, stop treating this like a craft, and start treating it like a manufacturing process. Build your context file, hire your AI staff, create your templates, fill your buffer, and then take a step back. Watch the machine run, watch the views come in, watch the influence grow, and in that silence, in that space you have created, you will finally find the time to become the man you were meant to be. The machine works for you, you do not work for the machine. Execute. The next crucial phase of this industrial protocol is the establishment of the sovereign digital perimeter, which goes beyond simple content creation and enters the realm of deepfake defense and offensive digital sovereignty. The softman believes that his likeness is his own, but in 2026, his likeness is just data waiting to be scraped, so the architect preemptively clones himself to control the narrative. You must deploy your own high-resolution avatars into the digital ecosystem, not as a deception, but as a projection of force. When you have a digital twin that can deliver keynotes, attend virtual meetings, and create content, you have effectively bifurcated your existence, allowing your biological form to rest while your digital form conquers. We must also speak of the algorithmic hygiene required to maintain this machine. You cannot allow your AI models to be contaminated by the low-vibration data of the mass market, so you must build a sanitized dataset, a library of books, articles, and transcripts that represent the highest level of human thought, and you use this to fine fine-tune your local models. This ensures that when your AI speaks, it speaks with the wisdom of the ancients, not the stupidity of the Twitter timeline. You are building a synthetic philosopher king that serves your channel. Furthermore, we must integrate the concept of automated trend prediction, where you do not just react to what is happening now, you use predictive analytics to see what will happen in 3 weeks. You train your system to analyze keyword velocity and sentiment shifts, so you are making videos about the crash before the market crashes and about the recovery before the market recovers. This positions you as a visionary not because you are psychic, but because you have better data processing than the competition. The softman lives in the present moment, which is a chaotic mess, while the architect lives in the statistical future, which is a calculated certainty. You must also consider the weaponization of the community tab and other low-friction touchpoints. Your AI should be programmed to post polls, questions, and status updates every few hours to keep the audience's dopamine receptors attached to your brand. This does not require your attention. It requires a simple randomization script that pulls from your philosophy database. You are keeping the lights on in the factory even when the owner is on vacation. Let us deepen the discussion on the monetization architecture, because simple ad revenue is for peasants. You need to build an automated funnel that segments your audience based on their behavior using AI to tag viewers who watch your deep dive content versus those who only watch shorts. You then target the deep divers with high ticket offers and the shorts viewers with entry-level products, all without lifting a finger. This is algorithmic segmentation, and it maximizes the lifetime value of every single pair of eyes that lands on your channel. You are not just getting views, you are harvesting intent. Finally, we must address the psychological firewall you need to build around your creative process. The automation exists to protect your sanity. If you are checking analytics every hour, you have broken the seal. You must train yourself to look at the dashboard only once a week, like a CEO reviewing a report from a subordinate. The numbers are just feedback for the machine. They are not a judgment of your soul. When you detach your self-worth from the view count, you become invincible, because you can post a video that gets 0 views and not feel a thing. You simply tell the AI to adjust the strategy and try again. This emotional stoicism, combined with relentless automated execution, is what makes the architect impossible to defeat. You are a ghost in the machine, a biological operator of a synthetic army, and while the world burns itself out chasing the next viral hit, you are quietly building a legacy that will outlast the platform itself. The automation is not the goal, the freedom is the goal. The machine is the key, and you are the hand that turns it. Build the factory, own the production, control the signal. This is the only way forward.